My weekly update. Not good news to report. No, really though. I'm not as happy or excited about my progress this week as I could be. Like I went out of town this weekend. Really enjoyed myself. Had a good time. Just wasn't as disciplined as I should have been. I think I went over my calorie count like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But I did exercise while I was away. But I do understand that you cannot out exercise a bad diet. So, and then it's just a matter of not even exercising, but my focus is watching my calories, counting my calories. Because I've seen that that is where I am most successful, not with the exercise alone, but and changing my eating habits. So yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed, but I want to report, the good and the bad. Like I said, this channel was about, my victories and my struggles. So this weekend, it wasn't too good. It wasn't great. But one thing I did enjoy, about my weekend was that I went to a restaurant to get an acai bowl. They didn't have the acai actually, but the guy recommended a green machine bowl. Basically, it had mango and spinach as the base instead of the acai. And then, it had bananas and strawberries on it and some granola. So actually, that was so good. I went back the next morning and got another one. But one thing I did realize and, just wanted to speak about is that, if you remember in the Camille Holder Brown interview, she said that, like they could raise the prices of their food, but then their restaurant would become kind of elitist. And I could kind of see that, in the prices I was paying for the acai bowls, for the green machine bowls, is like a person, with kids, a family, like that would be kind of steep for just a bowl of fruit, and so it's just, it kind of made me think that, the things that make us healthy that are actually good for us, just cost so much. It's like it kind of puts it out of reach for the everyday average person. Me in my life, is just me. So my food is just what I buy for myself. But person with a family, even just one other person like that, that's a pretty steep price to pay for fruits and vegetables, which we need. Those are things that are basically essential to life. They give us that vitality of life and the basically life force energy. And it was kind of that was kind of not as fortunate or basically unfortunate, but like I said, I enjoyed my weekend, had a great time, enjoyed the food that I ate, but just wish I had done a better job sticking to my discipline. So but even with that being said, I want you all to stay tuned for the second half of the Phil Thaxton interview. I think you're going to enjoy it, and if you didn't see the first part, go back and watch it.
He said, fine. He's sick of me at this point, but hey, I'm paying this man. I got health insurance. You're going to see me, right? So right. He did blood work, took all my panels. He says, wow, man, it's quite a transformation. He put both numbers up and he said, okay, your blood pressure, you're below a 120, you're like a 119 over 68. He says your cholesterol is down like 40 points. Your A1C is down. He says, what's the problem? I said, do you see anything else in that blood stuff? He says, no, man. He said, just keep doing what you're doing. And then he showed me the BMI, the body mass index. And he said, I need you to get down to like 190 pounds. And I hadn't been that weight since college. But you know what? I figured if I dropped 15 in a couple of weeks, I could get there. So by my birthday, I was down to about 190, 191. Okay. And the crazy thing is that I felt great, but now to the outsiders looking in, they were like, okay, is he sick? Right? Has he got cancer? I mean, what's wrong with this dude? Right. Because he looks like the guy from 89, right? He just doesn't have the muscles. He's just skinny, face skinny. My mom is scared. I had to get a new wardrobe. I had to get a new tailor to recut all my suits and stuff. But again, I went back because my mama said, you need to go back because you got cancer in your family, all this other stuff, right? So I go back. He says, no, man, everything is fine, right? He says, you're just right where you're supposed to be.
Wow.
So to have a happy medium between what the doctor want and what my mama want, I said, I'm gonna get up at a comfortable weight of about 200, 210. And I've stayed there since.
Okay.
And I think I feel healthy, but I think I look normal
Okay.
for that
Okay.
weight. So that's
Okay.
where I've stayed at. Yeah, right around 210, right around
Can
there.
you take a moment just to share with us some of the things that you did?
Yes, yes.
Go.
Number one, I didn't spend money. Let me say that again. This is to your
Yeah,
audience,
that's a
okay?
good word.
You do not need to spend money
Okay.
on anything. Invest the money in yourself. You
Mm-hmm.
don't need to go pay a nutritionist. You
Mm-hmm.
don't need to go pay a personal trainer. Gym membership is fine if you don't have a treadmill or something at home, right? But you don't need to pay anybody to use common sense if that's the right choice.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I did. I spent money on buying more fruits and vegetables. I spent money on buying a good pair of sneakers that I could walk in.
Okay.
Right. And then I spent a lot of time just figuring out what was important to me.
Mm.
That's what I spent.
Yeah.
In terms of food, I cut out all salt and sugar. This is just the initial stages now, right? I'm not talking about later on once you have your discipline and regimen set.
Mm-hmm.
That the first couple of weeks, given where my blood panels were, I had to kill sodium and sugar.
Right.
Right? Natural sugars in fruit is fine. Natural salts in meats is fine. But doing what we do, right? That salt and pepper is right there on the table when we pulling up a plate. You know, we don't taste the food first. Come on, people. You know how we do. We see it and we grab and we get to shaking, right? I got rid of all that stuff. I stopped eating breads, right? I limit my diet in terms of liquids to just water and almond milk, right? And the almond milk mainly was for the acid reflux because the alkaline keeps the acid down. That was it. No juices, no soda, beer, liquor, all that stuff is gone. Again, no breads. In terms of vegetables, just your typical green vegetables, right? Fruits, all of them with the exception of anything with acid in it. Okay. Whole grain cereals. When I went to the grocery store, you know, many of us go to the grocery store, we know what we want, we're out of there in 20 minutes, right? Not me. I'm in the aisle looking at the the ingredients and stuff, right? What are the percentages of salt, sugar, saturated fats, and all of that? If it wasn't zeroed out, I didn't get it. And what I mean by zeroed out is literally just that, zeroed out. When you turn and look at the nutritional value on the skinny side, all zeros.
Okay.
Not a lot of grams of sugar, right? That was my diet. Egg whites, that kind of stuff. And because of the acid reflux, there were certain healthy foods that I couldn't eat because it would give me like gas pains in my shoulder, like broccoli. Broccoli kills me. I ate broccoli, I'm gonna die. So I had to kill that. But I could still eat other foods. But in the process of doing that, I found alternatives that were healthier and they tasted just as good, right? And it gave me the same sense of fulfillment as if I ate a steak. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, red meat, pork, cut all of that out. Why? Because the body doesn't digest it. Fried foods kill that stuff that's bad for cholesterol. So chicken, turkey, fish, baked or grilled, and those foods generally have natural salt in them. One other quick health note, and I learned this from my doctor and nutritionist, is that a lot of the colon cancers are caused by undigested red meats and pork. You know, think about dead meat that's old and rotten in your body that it takes forever to process. Well, that stuff kind of lays on you and it causes and inflames a lot of those diseases. I never knew that, right? Hey, man, I love a rib. I love a steak, but I never thought about how long it took for it to digest and process. So just because you belch doesn't mean that you've digested your food. Right? Because, you know, a lot of us will sit back, unbuckle that top belt. Woo, okay, I'm ready for seconds now. Right? But that's not how the body doesn't work that way.
Right.
So that was pretty much how I was able to do it. And again, that was my crash diet for the first 3 weeks. And then
Mm-hmm.
the other thing, just really quick, that I want to touch on when I did, once I got my routine set, I made notes of what I was putting in my body, right? So I would check my weight in the morning before you go to work.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a blood pressure monitor, go ahead and pay $20 and get one. Just check it in the morning so you
Mm-hmm.
can kind of see the difference between how you are in the morning versus before you go to bed, right? But I would write down everything I ate just to get an idea of not only what I was putting in my body, but if I noticed that I gained a pound or two at night, I could say, oh, yeah, it probably was that bagel with cream cheese
Mm-hmm.
that kind of elevated my weight
Mm-hmm.
during the day, or too many sunflower seeds or pumpkin seeds, stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you could say, okay, I know what it is that would cause a bloating, maybe give me a subtle rate increase, blood pressure going up, just knowing what it is that you're putting in your body. And I don't know about you, you probably noticed this. You can feel when something, like when your weight goes up now, right? Like you
Definitely
can
feel
feel
it.
it, right?
I can definitely feel it.
You can feel it, right? It's not a headache. Oh man, I got a headache because I ate a
No.
potato chip. Nah, like if you eat something and it's heavy, it's okay. Yeah, I know I gained a pound. Then you get on that scale and it's like, oh
Right.
yeah, see, okay.
Right.
Does that mean you got to cut it out? No, but you're aware of it.
Right. You're aware
You're
and
aware of it.
you don't indulge so much.
No, no, no. It's all about portion
Right.
control, right? And
Exactly.
I eat after 7 p.m.
All
Um,
right.
because that gives my body time to digest everything before I
Mm-hmm.
go to bed. Don't lay on your food.
Right.
That's the rule of thumb.
Right. All right. Well, moving on to the next question. So, what has kept you motivated on your journey, and then what are some challenges that you've had?
Again, I'm a very simple man and I'm a plain spoken man, right? Straight out of Crossroads, right? I'm gonna keep it real with you. What's kept me motivated? I don't want to die.
Hmm.
I don't want to die before my time is up, man. And I know that sounds extreme, but quite frankly, man, we got a lot of folks we came up with um, who have died or who have ailments that
Hmm.
are preventable,
Hmm.
right? I'm not here to preach to anybody here, but it affects me when I know people who are close to me, whether they're homies from Crossroads, whether it's my frat bros, old army buddies, old college buddies, family. When they're going through something and it's preventable, that affects me.
Hmm.
That's what keeps me motivated. I
Right.
want to live.
Right.
If you have people who depend on you, you can't go early
Right.
because you got to see the race run all the way to the end on their part. I'm 52, right? I ain't gonna say I've lived my life. I got a long way to go, but I got most of the stuff out of the way. I
Right.
got kids, man. So I want to see my kids prosper. I want to see them complete the journey so I can now go back and do nothing now and not have to stress and worry about things. But I know they can take care. I want to see that, right?
Right.
I want to see you prosper. I
Right.
want to see everybody prosper.
Right.
I don't want to go to anybody's bedside or funeral or
Mm.
hear, hey man, guess what happened? So I don't. That's what motivates me.
Right.
You
Right.
know. What was the other part of the question? I'm sorry.
Um, and what has been a challenge for you over your on your journey?
Right. Great question, man. The biggest challenge for me, to be honest with you, is time. Right. Time is the challenge. Finding time in my schedule from work, family stuff, other stuff to just go walk 5 miles
Hmm.
within an hour, knowing that when I get back, there's something, a honeydew list going to be waiting for me to do something, right? Or my son saying, hey, I need to go here, right? Or my job calling me because they want me to travel somewhere. And
Hmm.
if I go travel somewhere on a temporary duty assignment, right? Finding time in the midst of all that to just go downstairs to the hotel gym and get my stuff in. Time, right? That's been the biggest challenge. And we got 24 hours in a day, and there's so much we can do in a day. And when I went on this journey, I never thought about everything within the context of time,
Hmm.
right? What do? We all have a rut, right? We
Right.
have a schedule. We're by nature, we're creatures of habit, right? We get up at a certain time every day. We eat at a certain time every day. We go to bed. But in between all of that, what are we doing with that time?
All right. Well, thank
Time
you
is,
for sharing all that with us.
yeah, yeah.
And for just sharing your journey with us, because if you, I know a lot of the things that you say, if people listen, those things
Right.
are going to be tremendously helpful. I mean, just the fact of knowing that you were 272 pounds,
Nobody
that
would ever thought that.
that you made the change,
Yeah,
that was necessary, and then your reasons why, for
yeah.
yourself. Like you said, you didn't want to die, but
Right.
my thing is, I want to live. I want to live in health. I don't want to, like I said, still have dreams and things that I want to accomplish.
Yes.
I didn't want to go into those things limping. I don't want to go with, my foot cut off, or my losing my sight. So
Hmm.
that is my motivation. Is
Yes. Yes.
not before me. Like, yes, I'm growing older in age, but I don't have to go in there, like I said, limping. I don't have to at all.
No. No. No.
The
You know, your quality of life should get better as you get
should
older.
get better. Should get better.
It should not get worse. And
Absolutely.
I don't think we ever look at it that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
But going on this journey, it makes you think about, put a whole bunch of different things in perspective, right?
Whole bunch. Whole bunch.
Yeah.
And it's like life is bombarding you all the time, and like like you said, it's trying to take that time from you. But you got to stay steadfast, flat-footed on your goal, on your intent, on your purpose. So
That's it. That's it. Exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So in parting, then what's one word? If you can leave something with the people, what would you like to leave with the people today?
Um, God, I hate to put it this way, but I have to be direct when I speak to my people, man. When you get our age, I'm going to say 40s and 50s, right? I don't want to call anybody old, right? Old is a state of mind. But when you get up there in age, 40s and 50s, the house becomes a little bit more emptier. The responsibilities aren't as heavy, right? You then have to ask yourself, what do you have to live for, right? And in the context of nutrition and eating, are you living to eat or are you eating to live? That's the question I'll have folks think about. Because the way you answer that question is going to determine what happens next with your health care, how your self-care, so to speak, right? That's what the doctors ask me, right? Nutritionists say the same thing. Eat to live, right? Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Don't live to eat.
Right.
Because that's going to lead to health complications that you can control. But if you're living to eat, you're going to keep doing the bad things. You're not going to be willing to break those bad habits. And you control that. So that's what I ask. What are you living for at this point? Are you eating to live or are you living to eat?
Okay. Well, that's a word. That's a word.
It.
That's a good question to leave us with. I definitely thank you for coming on. I thank you for sharing, your experience with us. And it has been a tremendous blessing. I know that people will really be blessed from listening to this, and I hope we both hope that people will hear and learn.
Yes, no problem. Anytime. And like I said, I just hope, like I said, I think what you're doing is great. You look great, man.
Thank you.
And the way you look is a testament of what you can do if you commit to it. And you want to make the change. And looking at me, former big boy 272. Hey man, I got on the scale before I came down here to make sure I'm good. If I got to put it down, I was 213. So hey,
All
I'm
right.
good. I'm at my old playing weight. So I don't have to get out there and do nothing, but I'm all right.
All right. Well, thank you again. I definitely appreciate it.
Okay.